Hi guys, Camaro checking in for your weekly Merlin update. Today I want to talk a little bit about fusions because it's come up a few times and I've mentioned just sort of do it passively, but I kind of wanted to show why. So starting with Light Shiva, probably one of the easier ones because farmable, 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 farmable. You gotta summon from Soul Stones, and I would recommend summoning the Dark Wolves from Soul Stones, as opposed to just catching a bunch of Miho. So I made a little chart here. To get to Shiva, you're gonna need 16 Anubis and 16 Boltwing. One of this Anubis will have to be a light Anubis. You cannot hatch it, you cannot summon it other than through fusions. So just sort of chipmunk those legendaries away as you are grinding in the first and second continent. To make light Anubis, you're going to need Evo 3 Nike and Evo 3 Stone Limb, which means you'll need 16 of their Evo 1s. That means you need 16 Evo 2 Sirens and 16 Evo 2 Kokomons, Wolf, Cosmo, which means you're going to need 4 for each Evo 2, which means you need 64 of these each, with the exception of the Kilobat and the Wolf, because I'd recommend just, again, Soul Stones for Wolf. You will need 1,440 Soul Stones for Dark Wolf to make the remaining 48 Dark Wolves, because they take 30 each. Only need 15 Kilobats. And then just catch the remaining Light Cosmos. So you're going to need a lot of stuff. It's also expensive. So over here, I kind of made a list of, there's the 64 you need for these two to make your Siren and your Kokomon. So your 64 of those. Then your 16 and 16, assuming you do the Soulstone summons. I mean, you can if you want and are super lucky with catching 64 Wet or Wood Miho. You can also hatch these if you open eggs, but I'm just doing this completely from catching or summoning perspective. So for this base layer, it's 50,000 per combination. Plus you're looking at 5,000 for your Kilobat summons and 10,000 for each wolf summon. Once you have the 64, what am I talking about? Once you have the 64 materials here, you've fused them to make their 64 Wood Siren, your Wood Kokomon, your Wolf, your Cosmo. You're going to need to Evo 2 those. So those 64 will become 16. Evo 2 Vix, Coco, Wolf, Cosmo. All right, so now you've got the materials you need for this. You're going to need to do 16 fusions here of these two, 16 fusions of those two. What you get will be 16 Evo 1 Wet Victorias and 16 Evo 1 Light Rockies. From there, you're going to make 4 Evo 2 Nike, 4 Evo 2 Rocky, and you're going to do it, so 8 Evo 2s, essentially. And then you're going to make those Evo 3s, so you end up with 1 Evo 3, 1 Evo 3. Then that brings us all the way up here now to your Light Anu. So you need 500,000 to fuse those guys to make one of him. And again, assuming you've been just getting super lucky while you've been farming for all these other materials, hopefully you'll have a start towards getting those legendaries. Once you have the remaining 15 Anubis and the 16 Boltwings, you can do, again, 4 Evo 2s, 1 Evo 3. And then, once you get all of that, you can fuse to get into Shiva. What you did not see during this whole time is the cost. So you're looking at a little over 30 million gold to make a light Shiva. You can cut this cost down a little bit, so instead of doing the 64 here, you could do the 16, 16, and then just catch the remaining ones. So that's possible. But that's kind of one of your little cost cuts. Or you can also get lucky if you're lucky and hatch a like what Victoria or any RGB Victoria and feed into her, so you won't have to fuse as many here. But assuming you just open no eggs, this is what you're looking at. So for the rest of these guys, pretty similar. The exception of cost being that these are Evo 3 and Evo 2. Again, with the exception of Wood Wendigo, these are all catchable. You have to switch to normal mode in Aurora and Glacial for that one, so on and so forth. But you can catch these. Wood Wendigo, they did rebirth Wendy's a while ago, and they did the dungeons a while ago. Haven't seen one of those come by, so he gets kind of annoying to find. These guys just go catch those. You'll have to wait till Aurora, I think, to get this. Hohenheim is a little different because to get Dark Anubis, you need to do some of these other branches. So you'll need to do the Nifa route, and you'll need to do the Stone Lem route, just so you can get these guys here to fuse and go from there. Okay. But again, super expensive, so I would just recommend, as you're grinding, chipmunk those things away, open up your storage, and expand your storage. I'm probably going to get rid of these guys because I don't think you're going to be able to use them for the next rebirth, which is unfortunate. But you know, so you can see I've got my, it's not fire, I meant wood. My wood Loki to feed into the fusion. I've been sort of storing away my wet Yeti, my sirens, these little dudes, and so on and so forth. I think these are actually only hatchable. I don't think you can catch these. I think you catch wood version of Fennec. So, something else to keep in mind. Other updates. Merlin finally made their first 6-star. So working on getting Thor up there. The reason I went with Thor over Merlin at this point, I don't know. I think I actually forgot that I had Merlin. Oh well. Evo 3, but you can see the attacks and defense and rec are lower stats because Evo 3. So 1983, 1621. And that's at level 41. 1899, 1515. So some folks take a lot of time and effort in putting in the math to determine what the best gems, what the best sets, all that is to optimize their mons. I go crazy with spreadsheets. I don't go that crazy with math. So maybe down the road when I recover from calculating the fusion costs, I'll go through and do the gems. One thing that I will do probably in the nearer future is, one, is it better to use a 6-star flat gem versus a 6-star percent gem? So keeping that coming. Other update for this week is finally managed to get a solid Golem 8 team. So that's your square gems. Remember, square gems are the only ones that have crit as a main. So this guy dropped, which made me very happy. It's only a 5-star, so it's going to be 45% crit rate boost versus the 54, I believe. However, the sub made me really happy. Ignore those two. But the other one, this made me really, really happy. Yeah. So, and then I think, oh, we got one more. Yeah, so Ruin and had some really great stats. Unfortunately, my other CS, Sun Wukong, Shinobi, and Merlin, are like as many triangles or diamonds, I know my shapes, as many diamonds as possible, which just made me cry a little bit. Which means I'm going to have to start grinding golems for those particular shapes. But as far as the map goes, because I focused more on grinding golems, I did not focus very much on opening up the map, so I'm still chilling here in Star Sanctuary. Sorry about that. I will work more on the map this coming week. One of the downsides of this game is as you're starting off, you kind of have to pick and choose what you're focusing on for a bit of time. So since in the map, the highest level gem is a 4-star. So if you want to beef up your mons a little bit and look at their gems, you're going to have to kind of put aside the map for a little while. But that's okay. So as a reminder, in Golem, your diamond gems are the only ones that will give you resistance. Your square as the main stat. Your square are the only ones that will give you crit rate as a main stat, and your triangles are the ones that will give you crit damage as the main stat. You can, of course, get attack, defense, HP, and rec in those shapes, but as far as those kind of special stats, those are specific to the shape. Personally, I prefer to grind a specific shape as opposed to grinding Golem 10. Couple benefits of that is you're saving just a little bit of energy. Also, Golem 10 is kind of like a mixed bag. It could be any of the 3 shapes. So if you aren't really looking for anything in particular, it's good. But if you are going for a specific shape, so I'm going to be hanging out in Golem 7 for like ever while I look for gems for my other CS mon, which is the other reason why I went with Thor, because I can get him better gems relatively easily. Yeah. Alrighty, so I think that kind of covers what I was hoping to cover more on Fusion. If you have any questions or want more information on Fusions, please don't hesitate to Discord me, Camaro0917, #2408. Or if you have any suggestions of other topics you'd like to see me cover, I am more than happy to take suggestions or just talk. Thanks for checking in, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.